Hello, how are you? We meet again. So, my friends, I am so impressed that this stayed on pause for as long as it did and waited for me to be able to come back. It's like 2, 3 days later. I don't even know where we last left off, and I'm not going to end it because for whatever reason, it stayed on pause. And so we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna go because there's so much to cover. I said I was so excited to be here. I am, right? But it is what it is. I am very I'm just like, I don't want to use terminologies that might appear to be misleading to say, oh, I'm so it's important to keep busy. I'm very busy. It's great to have things to do. I'm very grateful to have things to do. I'm very grateful to do the things that I do. And but we also have to make time for our own care. We have to, so before, I'm a New Yorker, right? Even though I don't live in New York anymore, I'm a New Yorker. And so that hustle and bustle of New York, walking mad fast, like knowing how to navigate, what working multiple things, like just that hustle and bustle. And then I come, when I raised my daughter, I worked in the fashion industry. I worked in the heart of the city in the fashion district, and everything is so fast paced. Everything is like a motherfucking race, right? It's like, so moving, away, I had to learn, not had to learn, but I got to meet the Speedy Gonzalez in me, right? And then the not need to be that speed, even though I'm still pretty fast. Right? So anyways, the whole point, and maybe somebody here needed to hear that, the pacing ourselves and really understanding that this is not a race. This is the sacred space that I am creating, and I have more than enough time to do that, which I will. And it's just like, it's a nice calming place to be. Like, I don't rush for nobody. Like, if you watch all of my videos, then you know the joke that I made, when the joke that I have when they be like, don't rush, and I'm like, I'm not rushing, I'm Latina. You know what I mean? Because Spanish people are always late. Supposedly, if you generalize, I'm not speaking. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm like, I'm not Russian, I'm Latina. Whenever, wherever, and just like, I'm not rushing, right? So pacing ourselves and being easy and kinder. And I realized that that type of behavior from before with myself, like towards myself, and having to do so many things, like, as a single mother, single working mother, like having to hold on the entire fort, having to be an active participant in my own daughter's life, having to do this, having dreams, having creativities, having this, and needing to do this, and sacrificing this, and having to do that. Like, when do you breathe, right? When the fuck do you breathe? Oh yeah, you do Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, and all this kind of stuff, and stretching, but when do you breathe as you live, right? Anyways, I don't know why I'm going into that, but whatever the case may be, focus on your own game, you know what I mean? Look at that, when I look down. Stay in your lane, do this, and in due time you will set up an extraordinary life. And so yeah, we're breathing in. So I like to talk astrology and all this kind of stuff too. And then I have this, I don't know if it's going to be for this video, but I do have the CIA printed document here that I have yet to read. I want to begin to read a few of the lines, and then I heard it, and then we're gonna do this while I'm recording live, and so I'm actually probably gonna save it for the next video. I don't fucking know, because we're still reading from the fairy tales too, and we got Hansel and Gretel, so I gotta squeeze those things into these videos and things like that. But I can make numerous motherfucking videos, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, right? So that's the part of it, right? Like you have all this divine time. You are sacred. You are divine. You are this flourishing um empty canvas filling itself up, like overfloweth your cuppeth, you know what I mean? And so you're in your truth, you're in your position of power, right? Like even here in the world, you're powerful here in this world, right? Holding your swords ablaze. I'm in my truth, I'm in my authenticity in every kind of way, right? And I'm engaged, right, with all that has been, all that will, that is and will be, right? The all of the all of the all, right? Ancestry and things like that, right? I don't know, I'm just getting really emotional as I speak, but you know me, that's that. In my Western astrology I have a Pisces moon, but in my Vedic astrology I have an Aquarius moon. And so it's taking that sword, that mental sphere of balancing act with my emotions and making myself abundantly clear instead of like self-sabotaging or in my way. It's like holding my truth, right? My mental clarity sword with my emotions is balancing act that's so strong and being even more so powerful, right? So affirming that for ourselves. I am powerful in my truth. I am powerful as I stand here authentic in my own lens, right? 10 toes deep down in my position of empowerment, that be me, right? I don't gotta explain that shit to no motherfucking body, right? So, you know, anyways, I had a really empowering week this week, period. Like every day, but like really, 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 and just even in my own practices and my own, you know, meditations, spirituality, workouts, yoga, you know, all these different things that I do, and these why do we do what we do, and I just, you know, when you have these mind, body, heart, and soul empowering like infusions, right? It's like when you come into your shavasana state, right? If you practice yoga, you know what I'm talking about, whatever the case may be. But like at the end of your practice, you know, you meet with yourself, you lay on your mat and you just allow for the infusion, the integration to take place, all that hard work that you put into the fact that you are showing up for yourself and doing this practice and stuff like that, and the meeting that takes place. So I'm talking about that. That's like in spirituality too, right? All that you're learning, all that you're growing, all that you're showing and stuff like that. Here you are, right? And you're integrating, right? This integration, I really love that. That's so fucking powerful, right? This integration. I'm like, I put tears already on there. I do not like take back any of my my emotions, my tears, even though I say I've cried. I'm plenty of an ocean, right? I'm an ocean of emotion. That actually reminds me of divine essentials. I have that. I have her cards that are ocean of emotion, right? Ocean of emotion, but that's funny. Ocean of emotion. That is really funny. Um, but yeah, I have, you know, my Pisces moon is an ocean of emotion. For real, right? So anyway, this integration. So anyways, so this is so we're going to talk a little bit astrology here too, right? For those of you, it's just, you know, we're going to talk spirit, like this is psychic physics, right? What did I call it the other day? I can't even say yesterday. It was like 3 moons ago, like I don't even know. Then let's top it off. All right, so the transits that are taking place, there's a lot of powerful transits. Like no matter what of how you perceive, remember, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of your own reality and your perception of things, and your own infusion of the duality of so many different kind of things, and that which where you are in your own state of evolution, where you are creating as the master creator that you can be, and all that you want to be, and your purpose here function in that. Only you can say that. for what it is for yourself, right? But anyways, so we have Neptune retrograding. We're gonna talk about that, right? Then we have this super full moon, and isn't it interesting? The other day, I have no concept of time, but it's in one of my it's so many days ago for me. But whenever I shared it on my YouTube, I don't even know, because it wasn't even the day of, like, you know, everything is always pre-recorded and all this kind of stuff, or whatever the case may be. But like, anyways, it's the video with, you know, me and my backyard shenanigans, like with the deer and the squirrels and the birds and all this kind of stuff. So I was talking to the deer. So this, I don't know what I called the video. I don't fucking know. Like, okay, it's deer. Watch all my videos, even if it's in parts. Like I said, like all my videos can be long and stuff like that, and I understand that, but you can watch it in parts whenever you can, whenever you're ready, whenever you meet me there. And even, you know, when you're laying down before going to sleep, and even if you fall asleep, don't be upset, you fell asleep to it. And so that is alchemy at its best. Like, you know, it's like a sweet finesse. Like, it's just like invigorate you where there is no wall up, right? Where you resist certain kind of things, and it's just like, and your soul will take in that which you will, you know what I mean? It's alchemy either way, the seedlings and all that kind of stuff. That's all I gotta say. Like, whether you accept them or not, that way they're made this way. Like, what the fuck can I say? You know what I'm saying? But what was I saying? So, all right, right. Where we are, I don't even know. Holy Cupola. Sorry. Oh, right. So we're gonna talk about these planetary like rulings and stuff like that that take place and all this kind of stuff. So, and then we got this. Oh, that the deer. That's what we were talking about. No, I'm rubbing my eyes. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna talk about the deer, right? The deer, and I was talking to the deer, and I realized he was a boy, and you know, we pointed to near his thing, gave him his privacy and his respect. That, you know, we were trying to look at his, he was like what he was packing, but I just wanted to know if it was a boy or a girl. So we saw in the video that it was a boy. You know what I mean? And then I was like saying in the video that he's young because he doesn't even have his buck. His, I don't know. See, this is when you could tell, differentiate between the channeling and the human speaking. Because when the human speaking, I'm like, oh, what was I saying? Blah, 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 blah. When the channeling goes through, it's just straight through. You know what I'm saying? Until the human taps back in, and the human's like, which way did it go, George? You can't even see, because I don't even know. I get, oh my god, never mind. But anyways, but yeah, so we got this super buck full moon up in here. So and that's because of the season that we're in. So right now, like if I was to see that boy deer, like me, he might be sprouting his little buck horns, right? His little buck horns right now in that season. So right, so we have that popping for us. So but the ones that I'm gonna really talk about today, because there's also, I think I want to do an individual video. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna do an individual video for the Saturn one retrograding, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Saturn, because you know how I debunk Saturn, and I gave my reason why in the video that I did with Saturn debunking Pisces and all this kind of stuff. The reason I want to give it its own video, because in some astrologies, I think it says it's back in Aquarius, and then some of it is saying it's Pisces. I don't know, but either way, I don't know. I just go by what I receive, you know what I mean? And then I just correlate and read, and whatever resonates and all this kind of stuff, then, you know, like whatever I see, but I just pretty much freestyle everything, right? So either way, I feel inclined to do a separate video for that, because of the complexities of how, when I spoke about it, the debunking video, and I said it doesn't mean that Pisces is not here working, and this also explains all those kind of other channelings that I had, where I kept talking about this relationship, this quirky relationship between Aquarius and Pisces at this time, needing together to bridge together, to create together, to grow together, to have to figure out something that's challenging together. And you got these two quirky, unique personalities, right, being asked to do this dance, right? And they're both giggling as they dance, like they're both asked to be serious at this time, to ignite and light in this align, and it's a quirky match. So I just feel like I want to save that for its own video, you know what I'm saying? I'm very colorful in my expressions, and so for those of you that lose me in that colorfulness and expression, just understand it's poetry, and I'm a poetess, right? It just comes out that way. That is the way I speak. I understand it's not for everybody and stuff like that, but I don't know how not to speak like that. So it's not, don't think it's forced, don't think it's like rehearsed, don't think it's like scripted or anything like that. Like this is like I'm scripted as I script here with you. And then we got this document that's here too, but this is gonna I'm gonna do this one. This one is something I printed from the internet, and this has nothing to do with the conversation that we're having with, now and stuff like that. And then, whatever we pull and whatever we talk and whatever we do. But anyways, I'm just like babbling. Hello, Intuition's the babbler. That's me. Like, what the hell did you think when you clicked on something that has the title of a name like that? Like, I always find it funny when people be like, you babble a lot, like, or you talk a lot, or you like when I engage in our channel and I talk this kind of way and I kind of go monologue-ish. It's not that I'm like, whatever. I'm very much alone, and I'm very much a lot alone and by myself, and except with the animal kingdom and stuff. And I interact with other people, of course. I work and stuff like that. You have to, and things like that. But I'm just saying, for the most of the time, like, other than that, when I'm not doing that, I'm pretty much, it's me and my kid, and like, she's not a kid anymore. She's a grown ass adult. Like, you know what I mean? I got a 22-year-old. So it's not like, oh my God, I got a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old anymore. Like, no, I got a 22-year-old. Like, this is different life. Like, and and spending time with her and doing things with her, like, realizing, like, the relationship we get to have and all this kind of stuff, and the things that we get to do together and things like that. Like, it's nice. It's really nice. It's different now. Like, it's no longer like I'm just taking care of her. Like, she even cooks for me. Like, she feeds me. She gifts to me. Like, in so many different kind of ways. And I don't know why I'm talking about that, but like, but yeah, I just have a proud moment in that kind of way. And I feel, just cool and thankful. Okay, I don't want to get emotional, but yeah. So King of Pentacles. Okay, businessman, wealthy, successful, provider. Okay. What's gonna be coming up in that? I see how I get like all deep into my own stuff, and then I start deflecting or going somewhere else. Like, oh my God, all this King of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's talk about that. But that could be the possessioning of you too. You know what I mean? This doesn't have to be just somebody, but I'm hearing a lot of things. Okay, but hold up. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. We were talking. We were having a serious conversation over here. And look, he's like, don't worry. I'll be patient. Oh, where am I going? You can't even see. I have this like, I can't figure it out. Oh my God. Like, he said, it's okay. You see these Egyptians over here? It's okay. Can't even see anymore. But anyways, I'm patient. Look at his smug ass face. I live right here. I wait for you. When you're ready, continue. I love to hear you talk. Oh, somebody loves to hear you talk. Okay. Somebody loves to hear you talk. Somebody gets, ooh, I see my phallus card in my mind. Somebody. So whether you're coupled or not, so this is good, right? So let's say you're a couple, right? And chill, because I'm still gonna be talking to my abstinence and my celibacy crew, right? Those that like, you don't spread yourself so thin and stuff like that. Hello, I'm talking to you too, because hello, right? But either way, but let's say you're coupled. It's like you and your partner, or your partner, right? For whoever's here, is turned on by you. Like, when you speak, they're turned on. Like, you do something for them. Now, for those of you that are not in a relationship, right? What I feel like, there is a King of Pentacles, right? Arriving too, right? Arriving too. Ooh, the Hierophant. Okay, like a spiritual connection, some type of. So it's like, like you might live in an unconventional life, right? It's not the same tradition, like husband, wife, the route that people go and stuff like that. But like, something is coming to you that's going to bring the tradition out of you. whatever that's going to be, even if it's unconventional, you know what I mean? Anyways, but that could be too that which you are if you are partnered already, like this spiritual union, this divine coupling, this marriage, this togetherness, this bond, I feel like. Okay, but anyway, I don't want to get distracted because I do want to speak. I do want to speak astrology too. I do want to speak astrology too, right? Important mission, because we're on a such an important mission here. It's putting me back in task. Like, hold up, okay? Your soul has an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within, and you'll discover your mission, right? And that's what's happening too, as within exudes on now, and that's what it's all about, right? So, right, so Neptune retrograding is not anything that we have to really like worry about, right? Because Neptune retrogrades every year for about half of the year anyway. So it's not like we haven't dealt with that before, right? But Neptune is what? What is Neptune? Wait, what is Neptune? Neptune is the planet of what? Oh, illusion, delusion, dreams, right? Fantasies. Oh, yes, all the fantasies that you have in this world, right? Right, so that's why it's important to talk about this, like pow pow, and then right, we in the energies right now of this super full moon, buck moon, boop, boop, shots fired, right? Type of thing. So when Neptune goes retrograde, this is why it's important to speak about, right? It loses its power, so to speak. Ah, what do you mean it loses its power? What? Oh yeah, right, like the swords, right? Right. So, so this conflict, right, that exists here on the planet Earth, right? Welcome right now to planet Earth. Let's clean this up. Rebirth, right? Everything being mirrored back to anybody that comes up in here. May you receive that which you stand out to. Because there's everything, but there's everything here, right? Love, right? There's love here that is going to cast out any type of nonsense, fuckery, foolery, any kind of thing that don't bang, bang, belong here, period, right? So, right, so anyways, right, so with Neptune losing, right, and it's not so much it loses its power, it's just a figure of speech, right? But meaning that any mirage, right, like any illusion, because you have to think about it, it's the planet of illusions, dreams, fantasies, and all this kind of stuff, and there's a lot of misleading right here on this planet. There's a lot of conditioning here in this planet, right? I didn't want people to think I was playing with myself. I'm just like, oh yeah, see my hand, and I'm like, wait, let me bring it up. Be nice. So, sorry, the kitten's rambunctious indeed, and she messing with Ebony over there, but she just wants to suckle, right? So, anyways, so what that means is good, in a good way, right? That it loses its power of illusion, right? So it puts us into this practical solution, like pentacles here on earth, which is kind of like what you would want to be like. You got to think about it like that, because earth, pentacles, right? So we speak about this when I talk about it with you guys with tarot and stuff like that. I know briefly, but if you're interested in more, then you gotta do more. You can come to my blog, you can come to my vlog, you can come to my Instagram, like, things like that, and get the full thing, or you can, whatever, work with me one-on-one. But either way, right, you can follow me on Instagram too, at Enchantress ENC. Of course, I gotta do a little mini advert for me. What you thought this was? If not me, then who? If not now, then when? What do you think this is, my friend? Encouragement, right? Encouragement for your own fields of existence. May they continue to grow, right? The things, the seeds that we sow, right? So either way, right? So what was I saying? It's at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. That's me, the one and only, right? Welcome. Hello. You can follow for free or subscribe for just 99. Yeah. Either way, everything is in the description box. enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. That's me, Enchanting Babble on Blogger. You definitely go check out my baby over there, and my second YouTube channel, which is Enchantress the Babbler's Mystic Muse Vlog. That's me, right? So either way, thank you so much for tapping and tuning in with me. Now we continue to where we were going so that we don't lose sight of this, because this is days going on. This is the whole process. So and I don't edit, so we're not gonna be editing this kind of stuff. Like whatever the case may be, you get what this is, and that's it. So either way, what was I saying? Oh, with the energies, right? With the pentacles, right? And the earth, right? So Pentacles energy is the only energy that's tangible. That's why it takes time, right? It's something that's tangible here in the earthly realms of existence, right? Because if you got the swords, that's mental, right? You got the cups, that's emotion and fire, and the same thing with the wands and fashion passion, emotion, and all this kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? So Pentacles is what takes some time here, right? It takes time to be filled, and that's what you've been building. Duh. So whether this is in representation of you as the King of Pentacles here on your spiritual freaking in your spiritually enlightened, empowered, sovereign, like so like a heal, like whatever it is. I hate fucking labels. It's just I it's just like, ugh, I hate labels. I hate names, because we are what we are, as we are. But granted, here on earth we need to give it a name. Okay, so whatever name you want to call yourself as you identify, right? In terms of what you do in life, your position here, whether it's as a married couple, as a divine goddess here on earth, a healer, a shaman, a teacher, a coach, a leader, a hero, a superhero, actor, like, because there's so, like, no matter what field of interests you, you are the light of the world. So you could be in an office, it doesn't fucking matter. You light up that office, you light up the worlds of those people that need to be affected by your energy. So you are exactly where you are supposed to be, right? The light of the world. And sometimes, it might suck and be like, fuck, I don't want to be in this this realm, right? But that's going to be up to you. That's just real talk, right? And there are plenty of ways to get there. And whatever leads you, brings you to that greatness in you, then so be it, right? As long as it doesn't harm and affect anybody else. If you're just doing your thing, staying in your lane, being your greatest self, then by all means keep being your greatest self. But that takes time. And so here you are, right? But here in the world, right, there's this. So now this is helpful. Neptune going retrograde is helpful to this Five of Swords type of energy, right? This conflict, right? It allows for the end of conflict to take place, because if Neptune's illusion, the planet of illusion, dreams, fantasies, and all this kind of stuff loses its power, it means that the mirage that's on the planet, right, and that stands here in front of us, can disintegrate, right? It can disintegrate, right? It can disintegrate, it can disappear, right? It doesn't have to exist anymore, right? We gain more clarity for the rest of the year. So this is good. This is a good place to be, right? To focus on your own game, to focus on in your own way, to stay your own lane, to do this, and in due time you will set up an extraordinary life, right? Because you're here on an important mission. Your soul has an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within and you'll discover your mission, whatever that is, whatever field, whatever box, whatever that wants to be for you. That's the thing. People that live in limited minds thinking and lack-minded energy and energy because of their struggle and their experience. They're just projecting that onto themselves, cycling that more and more without healing that which needs to be healed, not holding oneself accountable where one needs to be held accountable, right? And not holding up to the end of your own bargain to this soul important mission that you have, right? Not allowing yourself to meet yourself, to greet yourself, to uproot the bad habits. Right? You have let bad habits take hold of your life. It's time to uproot them and start fresh if you want to see a positive change in your life. And so this is that opportunity with this Neptune in retrograde, right? This Neptune retrograde, it gives us the opportunity to shift our perspective. It gives us the opportunity to shift our perspective. It gives us the opportunity to really play in on our fantasy and what has been a great illusion, what has been glamorized for ourselves, what was wishful thinking, right? Tapping back into our creativity, tapping into our spirituality, and all things that are just great in that type of way for ourselves, right? So, right, it's like it backpedals into the sky, right? And we're greeted with a reality check about certain type of things, right? You don't, and also this, you don't need anyone else, realizing you don't need anyone else but yourself to survive, to be happy, or to fix you, embrace a new level of independence. Even if you're partnered, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of really getting into this knowingness, right? Into this centeredness, into your knowingness, right? The centeredness into your own knowingness, right? To hear, so this heartbreak too, right? So healing the trauma, the grief, the depression, right? Healing the, right? That's part of this mission that you have, right? So here, right? So Neptune backpedals, right? And you're greeted with this reality check that this feeling, right, this mental discord, this heartbreak, this trauma, no matter how much you can feed all these other positive things, no matter how much you can do, right, no matter how much you can center yourself on your truth, no matter what you do, you still got these feelings of grief, you still got these feelings of trauma, right? Like you still got this. So it's like I always try to show where I can help you maybe to make better sense of it, right? In terms of healing heartbreak, healing trauma, healing grief and depression, right? I think of it in terms of, because my greatest grief and depression that hit me early on was losing my mother, right? And that was major heartbreak, that trauma, grief, depression, that it didn't matter how much time passed. It didn't matter what other people's words of comfort were to me. It didn't matter of anything, because no matter what anybody said and no matter what anybody did, my mother was gone from this realm of reality. So there's no boo-boo, there's no band-aid for that. Go ahead, rip it off, because the shit still fucking hurts. So in my understanding, this is where, because I don't like to compare and contrast people's pain, because pain is pain. Pain is pain, hurt is hurt. We're not gonna fucking compare apples to oranges. If you're hurting and that person's hurting, you're both hurting. It doesn't matter what occurred to make the hurt. Oh, well, my mother and father died, so I'm sadder than you. Like, fuck out of here with that leveling of bullshit. You know, knock that shit right out. We all hurt. It doesn't matter how, we all bleed. We all bleed the same. Heartbreak is heartbreak, hurt is hurt. That's it. Trauma is trauma, grief is grief, depression is depression. Right? So now we have this opportunity, right? So the illusion, right? So it's like a detox. It's like a detox from all the illusion. So it's like a detox, and you could be doing a detox too, right? Detoxing from social media, detoxing from drugs, detoxing from alcohol, detoxing from caffeine, detoxing from certain foods, detoxing from certain behaviors, detoxing from certain patterns, detoxing from whatever the fuck you need to detox from. Right? Detoxing and replacing, right? So replacing, filling it with something else that's going to make the detox feel, and sometimes it's not going to feel good. especially if it's an addiction, right? When you're addicted to something, the detox sometimes feels like the worst enemy, like no, like hell, like what's going on here, right? So either way, with this Neptune in right, so all right, so sorry, so so we're just created. I was making up a word, greeted and created at the same time. Created. I don't know. Now I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Right. So either way, this reality check. It's a reality check. It's just a reality check. And it's a kind one. It may be harsh to the environment as well. So this is like mixed feelings because, right, we also have this super full moon, right? That it's the energy for that is now it's time to take action. Right, so now it's time to take action, right, but it could be still confusing a little bit as you come out of the fog, right? It's like the fog, right, where you have more clarity now, right? So it's a powerful time to get real, really real, like the realest ever, really 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 real, right? Where illusions have clouded our judgment or our path forward, right? There's a powerful time to get really 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 real and reflect, introspect, right? Detect, adjust, right? Remove, make peace, forgive, right? Sorry, but it's a powerful time to get real and reflect, right? Because you're creating your future now. And your dreams for the future and your ability to shift, right? So it's like getting out of your daydream and taking inspired action. I like that. There's my pen. Right? So it's getting out of our daydreams and taking inspired action. Right? Of course, as you should be taking inspired actions, right? Because your visions are clearer now. So if your visions are clearer now, right, then you're able to make better, more informed decisions out of it, right? Having successful solutions, right? Because you're sorting through, you're making healthier balance, you're making you're making you're making healthier choices for yourself, creating balance that you need, right? So it's great. So it's just really it's a good time to really tap in, turn on, tune in, and your intuition might feel a little off because this is a new place, new space, and but think about it from the conditioned perspective. We're conditioned to only, even though we're asked to have faith in that which is unseen, we're conditioned to only believe that which we see. And so when you're in it's like murky waters, murky territory, right? There's turbulence because you don't know what that other side looks like. So understand that that's the discomfort, that's that feeling, right? It's not necessarily that your intuition is off and that your visions are not clear. It's just that you don't know what that other side yet particularly looks like. You get what I'm saying? So right, so I don't know. So it's like um now, right, that the illusions are being stripped, right? It's like you get to really check all your blind spots. I like that. Check all your blind spots. This is a great time to check all your blind spots, right? Just snap my hair. And here, everywhere, right? Check all your blind spots, right? Check all your blind spots. Hold on. Check all your blind spots, because it's time. It's time, right? Right? Because you have this ideal, look at judgments here. You have this ideal opportunity to launch your dream, right? If you're starting a new business, if you a new business venture, if you're finally like, this is the opportunity to write that book, write that book, right? Write that book. Make those cards. Um, make the clothes, like share your line of product, whatever it is. Print those cards, like, business cards, tarot cards, oracle cards. Share your jewelry, your candles, your art, your poetry, your song, your singing, your acting, your reels. Showcase your talent, like, you know what I mean? It's just reconnecting with what you enjoy, even if it's jump roping, even if it's swimming, even if it's playing a sport. It doesn't mean that you have to share it with the world. It means start enjoying these things that you enjoy doing, right? Getting it done, right? Because this is an auspicious full moon too, right? I know I'm going back and forth, and but this is why it's like it's tying together. So that's why I wanted to do the Neptune retrograde and full moon together, kind of. But we're going to talk about Saturn and Pisces, Aquarius, this type of retrograding thing that's taking place. Am I even saying that the right planet? I don't even know, but the other planet that I'm going to do that's retrograding. My mind is everywhere right now. Yeah, whatever, but either way, right? So look at this with the judgment card, right? This moment of reflection, reckoning, awakening, the spiritual calling, answering the call, right? So so in India, right, this full moon, right, it's celebrated as a holiday. I don't know the holiday, I just know the start of the name because we know it as in the English language, which is Guru, right? I'm not sure. Guru Pum, something like that. Guru Pum, Guru. We have time, okay? Oh fuck, hold on. Guru Pum. There we go. Purnama. Guru Purnama. Guru Purnama, right? But it's a holiday that celebrates and honors our teachers and our guides. And I was like, that's beautiful, right? Those who it honors those who dedicated their time. Be nice. Oh, I'm feeling it. Yeah, we were working some glutes and stuff like that, and like whatever, either way, I'm feeling it. I felt that, like, woo, pull. But it's a holiday that's dedicated, right, to honoring those who have taken the time and given so much energy into conveying their knowledge, right? And because they deserve to be recognized. I think America can learn a lot from that, right? Tradition, right? So because they honor these beautiful souls who contribute to all of our lives. And so it's a positive, just think about the energy of that, right? And the magnification of the full moon and its superpower at this time. I don't know, like, that's just like, right? So it's like, so this full moon, right, it's one to deliver results, as well, because of that which has been like sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. That which has been like, what was I saying? Okay, I just need a moment. Okay. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay. Stop. 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 Right. Anyway, so this holiday, anyway, is associated as well with Lord Shiva. I know I have a cat named Shiva, but she's a girl. Right? Stand your ground, hold your power, and never give it away. Not everyone is there to support you. But you have unique gifts as well, right? So your greatest fulfillment in life will come when you discover your unique gifts. Develop and fine-tune your gifts so you may share them with the world. And that is exactly what we were talking about right now, right? Sharing these unique gifts with the world, right? Pain is fuel. Use it as fuel. All that pain, all that suffering, all that confusion, use it as fuel and transform your troubles into gold. Right, so this is a powerful time to change that, to bring that type of, hey, oh my gosh, hold on, hey. Sorry, it's just the kitten is very, like I said, rambunctious, and so she be messing with them, and Ebony is just very dramatic. So her and Shiva got beef sometimes, and so, but in Ebony's dramaticness, she plays with the baby back, but she's serious, and she makes a lot of noise, like if she's hurting her. But when you go and you look at the kitten is just laid up underneath her, like play fighting, smacking her back, and then Shiva thinks it's serious, but she doesn't. She just comes down because of all the noise, ready to fight Ebony. So I have to like and that's, yeah, look at it. Listen, anyways, that's just what happened right now. Okay, so where were we? So right, so Lord Shiva is believed, right? We were just talking about Lord Shiva, talking about Shiva, and then Shiva going over there starting some beef and stuff like that, right? Beef. Right? Because of this honoring in of teachers in that have unique gifts that they give to the world, right? And stuff like that. So it is believed that Lord Shiva is the one that brought this science of yoga, right, to his disciples, right? Of I don't really know like all the names. I don't know and stuff like that. But I do know this one because it's one of my favorite positions and stuff, and I'm probably gonna say it wrong. And if I do, I'm not trying to be offensive and stuff like that to anybody in their culture and their religion and all this kind of stuff. But it's one of my favorite, and I get them confused because one means one and the other one means another one. So I don't know, but so either way is in the it's in I'm trying. Why am I so shy? Right, but because there's Natarata Shana, which is the dancing star, I believe, like the yoga pose, right? And then there's Nakshatra, right? Which is the invincible star, right? And so like it's representative of this full moon too, right? Yeah, we got the buck full moon and all this kind of stuff and all these positive aspects and stuff, but we also have this like this ancient like magnetism to it. So it's kind of like the other video the other day when I was talking about our electromagnetic field and how in physics, like it goes out to 9 feet, right? You share 9 feet, like you can go out to 9 feet. And then the point that I was trying to make when I was saying that if you don't know your energy, if you don't know your energy, if you don't know your structure, if you don't understand it, then you're more susceptible to being under the influence of a larger bubble than yours, right? And so when we're looking at it from that kind of perspective, right, that was the whole point of that. I'm sorry, there's just a lot of noise back here right now. So right. So thank you. So I meditated on that after I recorded that video when I had stated that, because I'm like, how can someone else's, if we're talking about 9 feet of space, how can someone else's bubble go further than that, even though we're infinite, and I'm not here to put a barrier on anyone's reach. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, I just was thinking about it and meditating upon it, and then it made me understand the how you can get consumed by a bigger energy bubble than you. The right, so we're all each individual energy bubbles granted in this greater larger space. But when we were talking about all the different verses, all the different dimensions, all the different energies, that these are all, that they all have their own energy, electrical energy, and all this kind of stuff too, right? There are systems, there are structures, there are governments, there are things that are greater in energy reach than us as an individual. So it's easy to be able to fall susceptible to those larger energy bubbles, not necessarily like the person standing next to you that, oh, if we're told, right? It doesn't mean that I'm saying that 9 feet is all we got, but the next person is going 18 feet, and I'm not talking about it like that. You get what I mean? Right. So I'm not talking about it like that, but yeah, so but this full moon for that, right? It's under, hey, Olivia. Oh boy. Hold on. Be nice. I cannot. I'm talking about radiating positivity over here. And they want to be fighting and stuff like that. But look, so, but the full moon itself, like it radiates positivities, blessings, right? Optimisms, right? So if there's an aspect of your life right now that might seem bleak or gloomy or something, this is the prime opportunity to just commit to and give it your all, your highest potential, and all that you do to recommit to the things that you do, right? Know your birth star, know this, your energies, understand your temple divine, right? Like seek to want to understand that, right? When the desire of the self is born, all other desires dissolve, kind of, because you're going to find all your other desires within the desire of you and yourself. So it's all encompassing, existing too. It's not separate from you. But when it comes from that which is you, when it finally is that part of you that is like so dynamic, so real, the authentic self, then it's like everything that you drink it, you feel it clear within, right? So clear within. And we were talking about our electromagnetic field, right? Because listen, we have these like resting cells, right? We have these resting cells, and if they're negatively charged, right, from the inside, right, Ooh, clear within. So romance can come into your life, right? Romance, whether you're in a relationship or not, you might be also the embodiment. For some of you guys have the relationship that you are to be the example of romance to be, right? So clear within so that you and your partner can do this kind of coupling, the seed. I'm breathing for those of you that are abstinent, celibate, or whatever too, and you have yet to be with your partner here too, clear within, because romance is brewing as well, right? But what was I saying about our cells, our resting cells, right? We got to think about that, the energy, our electromagnetic field, right? Love, joy, freedom, that which exists within, right? As within exudes on out, right? So if we're negatively charging ourselves in the inside, right, then think about that as our electromagnetic field, our energy field. What do you think you're going to attract, right? Granted, you can attract everything, but what you think you're going to draw more in. So they say like attract like, but so do polarities, right? Because the moment that something exists, it's its opposite immediately exists too, but the opposite is going to gravitate towards that which it's like and the energy that it is. That's why I say it doesn't matter what you say, it's how you feel. Because how you feel is going to how you feel is going to charge what you do. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of the frequency you choose to tune into, be on, vibrate with, right? So it's like that saying too, that what you pay attention to most, you shall draw in near and dear to yourself. So believe in thyself, right? Inner fear or inner light, right? What's going to be exuding from you, right? Move away. So for some of you too, you might be moving away, finding a new place, or even I hear too, clearing your space, moving away from that which doesn't serve, moving away from that which you shouldn't be focused upon, moving away from self-sabotage, moving away from that which doesn't serve you, right? Moving away from not really believing that it can happen for you. Move away from believing that, you know, that you have to sacrifice something in order to it's like, or that you're the martyr, right? Oh yeah, martyr, right? Like moving away from this, right? Who am I? And understanding what am I? Go watch that other video that I did too, where it was like, okay, right, we've been focusing upon that, which is who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Granted, who am I? But now mixing your who am I that you've discovered, that you still are discovering, that you're uncovering, that you're activating, that you're filling, right? Now with who am I, right? It's what am I, right? So understanding the what part of your sensations as well, right? So to lead to your fulfillment, right? Because it's important to think about things over before making any kind of decisions about anything, right? So with this Neptune retro, I know we're going all over the place and we're going, but it's all integrated anyway. So take with it as it will. And remember too, that you could always slow down the speed of my videos. I know that I speak very fast and all this kind of stuff, and you wanted to grasp. If you want to grasp, just slow it down. I don't know how to explain how to do that. But I know that it could be done. So Google or ask somebody that would know, or put it in the comments if you're able to put comments here, right? So right, so it's just, you know, we're getting real, right? The magician, because you're the magician, right? You're the magician. This willpower of yours, the desire of yours to push forward, to be, right? So you're checking all your blind spots, right? You have all your tools, you have everything that you need, right? Now you can, right? Once you point out that which doesn't serve or whatever the case may be, you can address them to move forward seamlessly, right? So you're moving forward, you're doing that what you're doing, you're creating that what you want to create. It's important. You're thinking about the things that you're thinking about. You're weighing out all your options, you're moving towards to what feels right for you, right? And everything can be met. I'm whimsical. If you're here, you're whimsical too. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. There's a whimsical enchantment about you, right? And magical quality to your uniqueness. You're very whimsical, you're very just whatever, you're just cosmic, you're quantum, you're dope, you're awesome, like, you know, whatever the case may be. Anyway. Right, so So it's like taking your whimsical nature, your enchanting nature, letting all the blinders fall off, and here you are now wearing, you got your magician costume on. It is not a costume, this is your attire, this is what you wear. I go outside and I be dressed and people be like, where are you going? Even if I'm going someplace, it doesn't matter, but it's just like it's a different type of setting, like but it don't matter, right? Because all the world's a stage, right? And so now you learn your role, you know your role, you know your part, you play your part, you write your script, you do your script, you say your lines, you know what to do, you're here, you're positive and you're aligned, and here you are. This is the period ideal for yourself to unleash all that you are. Creative too, right? Music, writing, art, all that is of value to you that only you can create, right? Diving deep into your thoughts, diving deep into your sensitivities, diving deep into your creativity, gaining a greater self-awareness of your own self, right? Taking advantage of these energies that support, right? Your own prioritizing with self-care, right? Working on your rejuvenation and that which you are creating, right? So, and then we have this moon, right? Also amplifying this good luck and fortune as well, right? So it's just a dope feeling to have and to be on and stuff like that. Hold on, I need to check on something, right? I forget. I talk about all this kind of stuff, but I understand the behavior of my cats even more so now, because since I'm talking about this, I'm like, Dad, Jennifer, this is why they're acting a fool. They're acting crazy at this time, right? So right, so it's just an honoring time, right? And an honoring time too for yourself. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going down, granted, in the astros and the cosmos, but what's most important is for you to be in alignment with that which is happening with you, clearing within to that which, doing that which you need to do, right? So the auspicious nature of this full moon, right? Be vulnerable, right? Right, like the invincible star, right? Be the invincible star, right? And know that too, that things are taking place, right? Especially when you take place, when you activate, right? Apas, right? Apas, APAS is a goddess, right? You can look into it. Gentle okayness, be vulnerable, right? Compassion, right? Right, is the ancient water goddess, right? That ruled over something. Right. So, but what it is there are the spirits of our planet's ocean, rivers, streams, right? And so, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to check on these cats again. Hold on. Right. Drive me crazy. But anyways, right? So, right? So asking apas, right? Like, or just the energy, right? To cool the planet, right? Understanding, with understanding, detach from that which is, right? Trying to distract, right? Right? Moving away, right? That's right. Moving away from what you need to no longer be distracted by. Doubts cancels abundance, right? Doubt cancels abundance, right? So amplifying the full moon, right? It's positive as, what is that? Oh my god, I gotta go check that out. Some time has passed. I don't know where we were, but we were talking about all the energies and stuff. Let's just go back to the energies and stuff that we were talking. I could always go back, and then if I remember and all this kind of stuff, then we'll go back to that and stuff, whatever the case may be. But we have this full moon, super full moon energy, and we had this Neptune retrograding that we were talking about and stuff like that, right? So, so with this full moon energy, Clear within. You see what I'm saying? Clear within, right? It's time to clear within, right? So it's been like an emotional roller coaster too, like, right? An emotional roller coaster, an emotional, what's under that, right? An emotional roller coaster, especially since, so for summer solstice, right? Trusting myself, right? Being artistic too, expressing yourself in this moment, right? Initiating that, right? We have this Cancer season, right? And right, soften and open, but at the same time, right? So everyone's kind of been like at the mercy of their own like feelings and stuff like that, which is, I don't blame you. I'm an emotional being, like I explain to you every single time. I think I always like have to, for those of you that are into this kind of stuff, like I have to always say, right, that it was my Pisces moon, right? I've been crying up in here, you know what I'm saying? So I understand, right? And so, you know, when we're at the mercy of our feelings and stuff like that, we want to be as alchemized as can be, because if we're as alchemized as can be in alignment, truth, you know what I mean? We make better choices in that kind of way. So when we're emotional, not always our emotions are rooted in logic. They're fueled by gut instinct, right? Our desire to self-soothe, right? Smoothing. It is like, you know, our desire to have to know like certain kind of things too, right? So I don't know. Anyways, so this full moon is in Capricorn, right? Oh, and it was the King of Pentacles that came out, right? Ah, I get what I want. I get what I want in this new beginning, right? Look, I like that. I get what I want in this new beginning, right? Good. As you soften and open up, right? So, right, lovers, some kind of love story, that good lover that could be a friend turning into a friend, from a friend to lover, right? Or you could be friends with your lover. I like that. There's this willingness, gentle, quiet, heart love making, I hear. Some love making, right? And having this gentle okayness too, right? For those of you, yeah, some touch. You could do work that involves touch as well. You could be touched by something, someone, whatever. Okay, going back into this, right? So we have Neptune retrograde and giving us this reality check, which is an excellent time for the super buck full moon, right? That happens every single July, right? So remember how we were talking about our intuition and listening to our intuition, and then also with this Neptune in retrograde, it might have us questioning our intuition, because we might feel like it's off because you can't see the unknown aspects, because it's not that you're not like a seer, psychic, and all this kind of stuff, or whatever the case may be, or tapped in, turned on, tuned in. It's just that certain elements of life are meant for you to be lived, and sometimes we're not meant to know, right? So what is the buck moon? Let's just be there. I know you can definitely check out, I put in the community board previous buck moon readings that I've done and things like that. You might want to like listen back to that and see if there's any growth from that, from this buck full moon to now. Pain is fuel. You were chosen because you're perfect for this mission. Simply shine your light on the road ahead and you will help others to see their way, right? So the buck moon happens every July. It's always, right, the first moon of the summer, full moon of the summer. Okay, higher view. Be aware of what you're doing, and how it fits the big picture. Ask yourself what new actions you can take to elevate higher, right? Divine masculine energy. There's excessive masculine energy that needs to be balanced in order to feel harmonious within. Take a step back and find a more feminine approach. So that was that soften up, being vulnerable, right, at this time, right? So the nickname Buck Moon comes from the male deers at this time, who often grow their bucks, their antlers, or shed their old ones, right? Their old antlers, their old horns to grow new ones around this time, right? So you can see some deer with broken antlers or like little stumps and stuff like that, right? So that's why it's also called that, right? Along with salmon moon, because I think something with the salmon too. I don't know that one though. Right? And it's a super moon because it's a full moon that appears much larger to the naked eye. So if you've been seeing the moon in the sky all these last couple of days, then you'll notice that it looks closer, like to be it looks closer to Earth, right? And this occurs about 3 to 5 times a year, right? But this one is the largest out of all the supermoons that will be happening in this year, 2023, although time is an illusion too. So so it can be seen, like, you know, it's a very huge moon, right? Gates are open, right? So don't block any opportunities, right? Don't block, remove the rose colored. This is where that Neptune in retrograde, right? Because look, there are unnecessary barriers. You're blocking opportunities. Problems may arise later in the future, right? But then I was looking at gates, so that's what tells me that there's variety of these here, right? So change is coming. Opportunities protected from other people. Safety, power, and authority. New beginnings, right? So remove the rose colored glasses, right? The rose colored spectacles, right? Because that's, they've been on for the first half of this year, and look at it now for the rest of the year. Neptune and retrograding, right? This is your opportunity to make changes where you need to make changes, right? Retrogrades are not meant to be bad. They're meant to be growth inspiring too, right? So you know, happy ending. Look at that. Happy ending. Though it may not seem like it now, you will accomplish more than you could ever imagine. Your story will have a happy ending. And think about it too. This full moon in Capricorn, right? Capricorn is a sign, is the astrological sign. It's all about tradition. It's all about discipline, right? So this full moon can signify, right? The ending of something, right? For something new, right? Something you've been working on. So it's like the finishing of a project, the completion of one, or work that you've been working on. Or it could be also now wherever you've been neglecting, or wherever you're about, or you could be starting a new project, like whatever the case may be. So it's like the energy of putting into work that which you have. So whether you've already put in the work, or you've been putting in the work, right? Or now you're going to start putting in the extra work, right? Right, all things that require your immediate attention, right? That's that Capricorn and energy, right? Because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, right? And so things, the revelation for you may be something that requires plenty of your time and patience, which Capricorn has, right? It's the goat, right? So even though we're in this full moon energy, which could be super moon powerhouse, do that which you must, now isn't always the time to just rush ahead, right? But it is to go full steam ahead, but without rush. So maybe that's why I was talking about that. See, thank you. Right, when I was talking about like not rushing when I first came on after days, like, you know, in the making, and you might have Capricorn in your chart. Sorry, I'm just having this thing of epiphany as I'm sitting here, because now I'm understanding that, right? Because there's plenty of time. So have patience, right? It's not, you don't need to rush, right? Just take your time. I'm not rushing. I'm Latina. Remember what I was saying? Okay, you think I'm just making this shit up. This shit is just coming up as we go, right? So but with this Capricorn energy, which is great, you'll be more prone to less distractions. Yeah, right. Right. And that's good because they're not so much necessarily inclined to go into the emotional realms of life, right? So you have that grounding force of earth energy, right? So it doesn't mean to ignore your needs, but it also means to get your shit done, right? So yes, consider how you feel, but don't override your own discernment and not get shit done and not do with that what you can and will and would be so happy if you just fucking did, right? So so this rare like super moon is highlighting, right, for us, our every desire to all of our desires, right, that which we wish to accomplish, our goals, right, and how this is to lean towards our long-term stability, right, our foundation, our legacy wealth, right? So it's an impactful time, right, especially as a cardinal sign, for especially for other cardinal signs, right, because it's due to their own innate ability to take action and initiate new pursuits and projects and things like that, right? So it's so, but it's in this Cancer season, and it's activating in the cardinal, like the cardinal energy, to seek emotional fulfillment. Ah. So like these signs, right? So you got the other cardinal signs: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, right? Like if you have these placements anywhere dominant in your chart, right, it's like prompting you to shift your efforts and your pursuits that require your own discipline and preparation and stuff like that, but without allowing your emotions like to be in the driver's seat. Like, so it's like now allowing your emotions so it's learning to tango. So it's like taking the exampling. That's why you definitely are going to want to watch my Saturn in Pisces Aquarius retrograding right now. I don't know what the title is going to be, but just hit that notification bell, you know what I'm saying? And then you just be notified every time I upload, because I don't know what to tell you. Oh my God. But yeah, speaking of this, like, anyways, we'll talk about that another time. But so yeah, so whatever the case may be. So what else? What else? Right? So the discipline, the preparation, the things that you need to do, right? Taking off the rose-colored spectacles, doing that what you must do, right? So there are certain kind of transits, some dates and stuff like that to look into, to look you're on the right path, right? You're on the right path. Even if you're not sure, keep going. Eventually you will get to your destination, right? So there are certain dates that are going to be happening in August that will clash with like Neptune in Pisces, right? That can bring about like confusion and things like that. So this aspect can bring about like certain scenarios, and it could be happening now because, like, you know, too, because everything's like pre-shadowy, like, too, and stuff like that, right? Where there's like deceptive people, like it brings deception into your orbit, right? And it's not necessarily to upset or disrupt your foundation and your setting and stuff like that, but it's also to put into execution that which you have learned, so that you can apply the mechanics in a tangible way here on earth. It's not to be like, oh my God, woe is to me, like, why do I keep on attracting these kind of things? It's so that you can implement the structure that you have learned this part, right? So it's so it requires you to carefully handle these scenarios, these situations, right? And not necessarily get yourself so involved, right, in situations that will entangle you further, but to nip it in the butt in the way that is healthy, wealthy, stealthy for you from this now, right? Being aware in your own cognitive function, working on the clearing of your electromagnetic field and all this kind of stuff, right? Because if not, like, because there's other dates too that happen from October to November, right? That, because I think Virgo clashes with Pisces as well, which is its polar opposite and stuff like that, that there could be tough realizations about certain kind of things, especially in the romance department, right? Because you also have this July, check out my Venus in Leo reading, because there I touch upon Venus and Leo going retrograde, which is going to be happening now, like here in July, in the month of July, which there'll be another video for Venus and Leo retrograde. Retrograde and Leo, whatever, however I will name it, or whatever the case may be. I'm not an astrologist. I just love to talk astrology. Don't quote me on specifics and all this kind of stuff, but it's just the gist of the energy reads and all this kind of stuff. If you're looking for technological and all this kind of talky, then I'm not the person for you, right? But you know, we're still going to be practical too, even our whimsical natures, right? So there's just a lot of different energies circulating, percolating, right? So heartstrings could be getting pulled, right? Because it could also be revelation, because what we said about Neptune retrograding, it's removing all illusion. So this could be in the romance department too, right? So you could be in a relationship that now, oh, strip you down, it's stripped down, and here is this partner that you've been with for all these years or something like that, and now the stripping comes true, and the realization here is like a person's true colors might show. So this could be certain kind of things that are happening for couples at this time too, that may have connected once upon a time ago, but not necessarily have grown or evolved together at the same rate, and might be on different spaces or places of existence at this time. And that, you know, that can hurt too, because it's like, okay, like I've been with you for so long and all this kind of stuff, and I thought you were my person and all this kind of stuff, and it's not to say that the person is not your person. It could just be certain kind of truths. Like it's gonna be like, because I'm getting a whole bunch of what about me, because everybody doesn't want that to be them, and they don't want to hear it, and like and then it just, so I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna get out, because that's not what this is about. The point that I'm just trying to make is that there's gonna be tough things that you're gonna have to realize, especially in romance and in friendships as well. It's not just romance, but it's friendships, right? So that which pulls on your heartstrings and all this kind of stuff, you have to stay vigilant, right? To guard yourself and be true to that which you deserve, right? So because again, right, this full moon now is highlighting every desire that you have, that you want to accomplish, these goals that you want to accomplish, right? And this full moon, there's one word that's going to be good for it, is productivity, right? Productivity. So it's important to have certain structures in place. Capricorn is excellent for that energy, right? So any kind of abandonment issues, or any kind of things, being fearful of that which is unseen, things are not always as they appear. Be thorough and keep your eyes open. There's something you're not seeing, right? You can't escape the shadow side to stuff. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will continue to direct your life. In the making, becoming a source of light, and that be you, right? You're entering a new reality, opening up to new levels of you and where your best self exists. It is time to shine, so don't hold anything back. Becoming a source of light. You are a natural healer, born to bring through new healing methods to whatever areas you choose to work in, right? So whatever that's going to be, right? So the ego death, so you know what I mean? Ego can never really die. It can only be made conscious so that it can no longer run your life. Be mindful of it and don't allow it to limit you. Allow your highest good, right? Don't be upset because things didn't work out the way your ego planned. Have faith that what's in your highest good will come, right? Conflict resolution. Differences are bound to create conflict, but no matter how intractable, all conflicts are capable of peaceful resolution through compromise. Closed doors are blessings. If something you were hoping for doesn't happen, know that something even better will. Career transition. You're having a career transition. Reflect and reimagine your career. Decide to be intentional, proactive, and courageous about building a new career, right? Emotionally fulfilling. Right? And there could be people, oh, okay, here, that maybe you have made decisions in your life that have maybe put romance to the back burner, right? Where you made decisions to instead, no, I want to work on my career. No, I want to work on this. I want to, or whatever, for whatever reason, you may have been like, kind of like out of like out of touch because you've been so focused on whatever it was that you wanted to accomplish and make. And so now that's great, and you have great accomplishments, you have great things that you have done, that you're still doing, and all this kind of stuff. But now there's that emotional fulfillment. So this could be like, you could even have a Venus in Capricorn too, like or you know, in these areas, Venus in Aries, Cancer, Libra too, as well, in some kind of way. There may have been, or just some kind of status, some kind of look, some kind of aesthetic, some kind of title, something that meant more than the emotional fulfillment that lacked, something like that. And it doesn't mean that you have to be those signs, like don't be upset by that, which, you know, whatever the case may be, I'm just speaking, right? So now it's just, you're in a new positioning or realization of your own being, of what it is that you want. And maybe a life partner, maybe a new following a new career path, a new passion project, a new something, maybe a home. Maybe some of you have traveled so much and you don't have, not that you don't have a home, but maybe it's time to make your home a home. I said that too, like a couple of years back. I had said I always looked like, or felt like, because I moved so much, right, that I always feel like I've never fully unpacked at a place, because before I knew what I was packing again to move somewhere else. So you know what I'm saying? And you know, I even thought about that, like in raising my daughter, like where we moved a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? And just like, she loved it in the sense that you get a new place, new room, new things and stuff. And she has a lot of mutable air kind of quality to her sign, so detachment and things kind of like that, and loner qualities and stuff like that. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna miss my friends. Like anybody that's a friend is contactable. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, like, you know. And so when I started to want to make my home a home, I realized I didn't know how to do that. And I was like, okay. And so for me, it was like, it was it took thought. The way that I can make something, I sit down and I make something, or the way that I can with somebody's body, or the way that I can do energy, like the way that I can do things that it's without thought, the way that I could write a poem, the way that I could channel a letter, the way that I could speak and babble and do all of these kind of things, the way that that can come and it just flows. It wasn't like that for making a home. And it got me into like a really deep like reflection, introspection about, what is that? You know, what is home to me? What does that feel like? And so then it became a feeling thing. And it took me out of the detachment, and it was like, what do I want my home to feel like? So this could be with your partner too, if you, or your family, your kids, if you're a parent, or whatever the case may be. It's like, what do I want home to feel like? Right? What is it that I or my career to feel like? Granted, you could be all about major investment, success, a career, celebrity, like fame, whatever, notoriety, epic fucking adventures. But now, when all is said and done, right, you're on tour, you're on this, you're on this and that, and now all is said and done, and it's like, but where's my home? And for some of us, we want that in a person too. Somebody that we can connect with in that kind of way, where it's like, I got you, you got me. Together, you're my home, right? And so and then look at underneath that, orphan. So it's like feeling abandoned, right? The reality of one's passion sometimes not being met, right? So now transforming that into conflict resolution, right? Conflict resolution to any kind of pain, any kind of sorrow, any kind of rejection, any kind of, you know, it doesn't matter. So it's like, I was reading about so you know, Kourtney Kardashian is pregnant, she's in her 40s, and people would think, oh my God, in the 40s you can get pregnant, like ignorance, right? And then also Naomi Campbell, she's in her 50s. Now, it doesn't really state how she gave birth. I don't think she did. I think it was through surrogacy, but it doesn't matter. But if you look at the article of Naomi Campbell that I read, I don't know which article that was, but I'm just sharing, right? She says, she goes, I always knew I wanted to be one, a mother. I knew that it was in it for me, but I knew that when the time come, it would come, and now it's the time. This is her second child, and she started to have children, I think either in her late 40s or early 50s, where she feels, and mind you, she had a successful, accomplished career and all this kind of stuff, whatever the case may be, and all this kind of stuff. She has a name for herself. She's a supermodel, like, you know what I'm saying? And she made decisions and choices in her life, but now here's this next step, this next journey in her life, and it's fulfilling her emotional fulfillment to want to nurture, create, and have children. And so not everybody wants children, and I'm not saying, I'm just using it as an example. So this could be the same thing with people with their careers. They wanted a career, they wanted success, they wanted fame, they wanted celebrity, they wanted this, and with their one-track mind, with the way that they thought it had to be done, it doesn't matter. It's not about making mistakes. It's not about oh, this was right, this was wrong. It was your path, and that's just the path that you're on. And so now you're at this precipice, you're at this crossroad, you're at this fork in the road, and now it's just like, okay, I can have it all. You really can. And so now all these energies and all this, so anything that comes up that's disagreeable or that causes any kind of feeling like an orphan, feeling abandoned, feeling fearful, feeling insecure about certain kind of things, here we got King of Swords. You're in your truth, you're in your intellectual evolution, right? Your mental clarity, your authority, you're logical, you're thinking at this time, you're being clear, you're being in your sword of power, in your sword of truth, right? Charms here, right? So you're in your position of power, in your truth. And that's important, right? So to anything that has to do, right? So here we go, in your truth about any kind of disappointment, any kind of focus on failure, any kind of sadness, any kind of regret. So being in your truth. So the fact that this is, because we're talking about it and I was talking about it and then it still wants to come up and stuff like that. So I feel like that's a working through process, right? And so for those of you that might be in relationships already, right? You're with your partner, you're with your life partner, or whatever the case may be. For some of you, it might be a wake-up call to a certain kind of reality that maybe this person is not for you, right? And stuff like that, and disappointed. And it's not to focus on the failure or the sadness or have any regrets about that which was sending, because look, I see the sun is going to come out, right? So there might be some kind of heartbreak, trauma, grief, depression, these kind of planetary transits and stuff like that might be bringing that out for those of you that are coupled or in a relationship or something. But for those of you that are coupled in a relationship and stuff like that and everything is good, then this tells me, right, that in your personal life with certain kind of hiccups, with certain kind of energies, with certain kind of conflict, with certain kind of pains and stuff like that, or whatever, certain kind of disappointments and stuff, you might be on different pages, right? You might be on different pages in evolution. And it doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, we're going to break up. It just means that right now there might be emotional conflict that you might be healing, that you might be dealing with, that maybe this person could be even like an air sign quality, that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? That might not understand so much, but they're your partner who stands in their authority and support of you as you heal through certain things that might be traumatic or dramatic for you or something like that too. You know, whatever the case may be. So like I said, this is not a personal reading, but this is just how I'm receiving it as it's coming up, right? You could be also 35 years old, you could be 53 years old, you could be life path number 3, life path number 5, life path number 8, right? Right, you know, so Queen of Swords, right? So yeah, so being honest about that which you are being authentic about and truthful about with you, being protective, being witty, being intelligent, having, so look at even here, like, I know that people always think the same suit means divine counterparts and stuff like that, but I feel like sometimes that's a misconception, because even though a king of swords and a queen of swords could be husband and wife, I feel like a king of swords could also very much be with like a queen of wands. You get what I mean? Like, so like, I don't necessarily say, oh my gosh, this is a couple, this is divine union. I don't think like that unless I'm doing a personal reading and stuff like that, like where it's just individuals and then I can speak for individually. I just feel like this is coming out because whether you're male or female and stuff like that, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hiccup, there's a lot of distortion, there's a lot of conditioning, there's a lot of wounds, there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of something, right, that you have been diligently working upon that has been troublesome for you, disappointing, or dealing with certain kind of setbacks, failures, and sadness and regret, or certain kind of things or whatever. And now you're in a different position in your own world where you're in your clarity, you're in your authority, you're in you're evolutionizing your intelligence, and that's a powerful place to be. Right, that's a powerful place to be. And now you have this conflict resolution, right? Differences are bound to create conflict, but no matter how intractable, all conflicts are capable of peaceful resolution through compromise. And you're understanding that, you're working through that, right? You're not going to focus on any kind of failure. You're going to walk away. And the thing about the eight of cups too, look at this King of Pentacles. You can be walking away to a King of Pentacles. The 10 of Cups right here. Like, do you see this? Like, I don't even know what to say. And that's what's hidden. That's what's hidden from this poverty mindset, this hardship, this sickness, the scandal, like, or whatever. And something could be, right? There's something revealing, right? That's unconscious here, the moon, right? The moon card. So something is being illuminated. Something is being revealed, right? All is stripping down because you have the moon, then you have this Neptune retrograding illusion, right? The deception, the whatever the case may be. And this businessman, right? This is this earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, right? Whatever the case may be, you could be walking away from that which doesn't serve you, abandonment, disappointment, feelings of failure, finding new paths, right? But the thing with the Eight of Cups is that people think when you walk away, that means you don't ever come back. Sometimes you just have to walk away to gain the perspective and clarity that you need to come back and tend to what needs to be tended to, for whoever needed to hear that. Because look, you have the 10 of Cups here from this space of sadness, regret, disappointment, right? You have this happy family reunion, happy ending, again, happy ending coming up again, and marriage, right? So that too, right? Whatever, you could be born 1981, 1985, 1980, right? You could be life path number 9, life path number 5, right? You could 1983. Right, so there's some Page of Cups, right? So even two, new love, two, happy news, a crush, spirituality, creativity, right? So you could be meeting someone that could be younger than you too. It doesn't have to be younger or whatever, but it's just something new or whatever the case may be, right? 3 of Pentacles to work on with something new, opportunity, right? Teamwork, creativity, learning, apprenticeship. You could be learning something new. You could be joining something new. You could be becoming part of a community. You could be experiencing more unity. Look at this Queen of Pentacles style. You see what I'm saying? So like the Queen of Pentacles could be with the King of Swords, and the King of Pentacles could be with the Queen of Swords. You get what I mean? Like it could be mixed and matchy too, whatever the case may be. But there's some kind of groundedness, generosity too. Look at 2 of Cups here too. Harmony, soulmates, partnership, union. This could be in friendship. This could be in love. Look at 4 of Wands, celebration, marriage, coming home, belonging, a sense of fucking belonging, opportunities, right? Existing galore. Yeah, we want to push for that some more. So yeah, we want to open every door. So I wanted to thank all of you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with me. I am so thankful. I'm so grateful. I hope that you enjoyed the messages that you received here today. I know I know it's all over the place, especially that it took literally like I don't know how many days to create. I'm just so impressed that it stayed on the pause that it did, because usually after 24 hours for sure. Like I didn't think it was gonna, I thought I was gonna have to upload and it was gonna be not finished and then I was gonna have to create a part 2 or something like that. But it turns out that that's not true. And it was still here and I was like, oh, girl. So I like that in every kind of way, right? So so if you are ever interested in any decks and stuff like that that I use, that I do get from Amazon and all this kind of stuff, I have my Amazon affiliated shop that's in the description box. There I share only things that I have and actually use and recommend and all that kind of stuff too. So if you're interested in anything like that and you love to shop and you like to know what is actually like, should I get it or should I not? Whatever the case may be, I have my Amazon shop. You could always ask questions too in the commentary. Communication is a two-way street. If you're ever interested in anything that I have here showcasing that you can see in any kind of my videos, all of my videos, or whatever the case may be, but always check the description box because that is where you're going to receive all the information of where to go, how to go, when to go, and all that kind of stuff too, right? So that's that. That's that. Oh, so the CIA documents we are going to do in the next video. Because it's very interesting. And we'll do it with Hansel and Gretel. Okay, so Hansel and Gretel will be with the CIA documentation, okay, and more further evolutionary, revolutionary, quantum, cellular, electromagnetic, multidimensional, evolutionary, and the quantum dopeness that happens here. Yeah. So what other divine messages do we have for those tapped in, turned on, tuned in that would be helpful to those that are tapped in, turned on, tuned in? What messages can further align those that are tapped in, turned on, tuned into I at this time that will help them magnetize, to fulfill, to generate, to receive your own prosperity, abundance, clarity, whatever it is that you need, right? What do you, let's do it like this. Let's do our little. No, don't look at it. Don't look at it. We're gonna mix it up anyways. Okay. Let's see. Don't look at it. Two. Don't look at it. 3. Okay. Okay. Right. We can't even see. My cat likes all of these stuff. I just do a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, all right. All right, you got 3. You can choose all of them. Okay, let's see. You could choose all of them. But for this purpose, we're just gonna choose 1. Okay. So which of these speak to you? Which of these call out to you? I don't know what to choose. I'm gonna go with this one, even though we can apply them all, okay? So if you choose this one, celebrate seasons. Drink in the wonders of the season. What colors, sounds, flavors, and textures is the natural world presenting to you at this time? What stories does this season whisper to you? Absorb inspiration from seasonal joys and delicacies specific to where you dwell to bring life into your creative practice. If you chose this one, layers of meaning. Enter the laboratory of the alchemist. Combine pulsating symbols, color, intention, and the poetry of your experiences into all you do. With each layer of meaning we create, our work is suffused with energy, depth, and echoes of soul. Create a living palimpsest of extraordinary substance. I don't like to read things that I don't know. I'm a word whore. I tell you, I'm an etymologist whore. I don't like to use that word either, but I'm using it because it's true. I don't know what that word is. That's a new word for me. So I want to know what it means. We're going to learn something together. Palimpsest, a manuscript or piece of writing material on which the original writing has been effaced to make room for later writing, but of which traces remain. Something reused or altered, but still bearing visible traces of its earlier form. I love that. Create a living palimpsest of extraordinary substance. Yeah, new word. And if you chose this one, let us see, weave a healing spell for those of you that live to tell. Healers you are here on this planet, and harnessing that energy begins with your own activation of acknowledgement that you have some type of magic to you that is electromagnetic too, right? So wind the threads of life and dream up a healing tapestry. Sing your prayers into ribbons, soothe frayed strands with your care, and knit new possibilities. Call on the ancient qualities of the cloth and fiber arts to assist you in this spinning spell. It is time to weave a new fate. I love that. It is time to weave a new fate. Let's see. Do we have in this treasure box? Now, these messages can be triggering, but they're meant for evolutionary purposes. Three of Diamonds. The Three of Diamonds means a light on some subject of interest in regard to your finances. In case it's a love light, remember that the girl who looks like a million is often just as hard to acquire. You have to die to get your face on money, and you darn near have to kill yourself to get your hands on any of it. Now, make your decision. Do you want the message that's on the other side of this message or not? Because it'll be for you if it is. And if not, make a decision before I turn this over. Do you want to accept the message that's on the other side? Yes or no? Okay. For those of you that accepted the message that's on the other side, the answer to your question, you must be kidding. Dentist, a person who finds work for his own teeth by taking out those of others. Wow. Okay, so for those of you that wanted it, I don't know what that meant for you, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, have a pleasant one. Till next time, stay tuned. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. Stay tuned for the Saturn in Pisces Aquarius retrograde and how we're going to dive into that. Stay tuned for Hansel and Gretel and this reading of the CIA document that I have printed out for us to explore. And stay tuned for so much more. Follow me on Instagram at Enchantress and read everything that's in the description box to further align with you and I at any given time. All right, bye.